Hello there.
Happy Friday.
What's a Friday? What does that mean? Is that leading into that weekend people talk about? I've heard tell of.
Well, I'm going to have a nice weekend, so I am going to have some time to enjoy myself.
You're also going to have an open house for your new listing.
Well, yes. I mean, like the next 24 hours are going to be inspections and showings and open houses. But sometime after that,
you will sit down and put your feet up for a few minutes
and do some swimming. Got a family party. So.
Oh, yay.
Good. Yes.
We've got baseball and a couple of fun things. So
good.
In between the work.
Kind of a weekend then.
Yeah, a little bit.
So love letters. That has a fantastic connotation, doesn't it?
Well, wait a second. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Danielle Tolley.
I'm Ruth Sheehan, and we're with eXp Realty.
Talking about love letters today. See, I'm so
love letters.
On our topic.
I haven't sent you any in a while.
Well, good, because I don't want them.
We don't want love letters anymore.
I don't want real estate related love letters, and there's a good reason for it.
Very good.
So if you're not familiar with what a love letter is basically something that has become somewhat trendy in the last couple of years, I'd say, where someone, a family, an individual, whomever, the buyer is trying to get their offer picked over others and trying to stand out in a way. So they send something to the sellers, kind of hoping that a little bit of their background, a little bit about who they are, and hoping to be picked over the others.
And usually why they love the house, but it'll be things that they connect with. And we've used these in the past. They were, an effective tool kind of before, the issues were pointed out. So we would say, find things that you connect to on a human level. My 5-year-old is going to love the pink room,
But again, I'm not sure how effective they were. I mean, I think I probably submitted 1 or 2, maybe 3 over all of these years. And I don't recall a huge amount of them being, I know one of them was, but I think that was kind of they were going to pick them anyway because it wasn't multi.
So I'm sure it varied, but we did have people who said that they specifically connected with our clients and what they wrote. And part of the problem with the way our transactions work these days, realtors are in the middle for a reason, a really good reason. However, it does often leave people feel like the human emotional aspect is lacking. Well, it is, but human emotions have good sides and bad sides. So yeah, you do miss the warm fuzzy, you miss the handing on your home to someone that you feel a connection with, that makes you, feel good about that part of the process. But there can also be a lot of ugliness that can come out of this. And so because of that possibility, we're now nixing them completely.
Well, I think goes a little bit deeper than that. But I did want to kind of say it's not just us. So you'll find somebody who will come around and they'll say, oh, I do it, absolutely. But I just want to I did some research, and what I'm finding is that there's at least 3 states that have banned them completely in their legislation. There are full agencies out there that are saying, do not do this. Listing agreements have been changed in at least 2 states to specify if they're even allowed or if they're going to be looked at. Our National Association of Realtors, so NAR, has called it an unethical practice. And there's local boards too in a couple different states that have, actually a lot of states that have highly suggested that the practice go away. And it mostly is because of fair housing. So really, I mean, real estate is a business transaction. Yes, it is where you brought your babies home. It's where you first felt like an adult. It is a lot of things to a lot of different people. It's their first fresh new step in a new chapter in their lives. It means a lot to a lot of people. Some people it means not so great things as well. But it really comes down to, and that's why trying to get a professional involved who can kind of help take some of the emotion out of it and know at the end of the day that the point is to purchase a house or sell a house. That is your goal when you hire a realtor, when you hire us. Your goal is to buy a house or sell a house or do both.
And you're transferring that property, not any of the things, any of the emotions really that are attached to it. And so really it's been a little bit of hey, look over here distraction, where buyers, truthfully tried to manipulate the feelings of the sellers, and not, in a malicious way, but wanting everybody to feel good about it. But really we're much better off when we take all of that out. So let's give an example. If I were to write you, the seller, Danielle, a letter about why I wanted to buy your house, I would say, my husband, Tim, and I have been thinking about moving for a while. And the minute we walked in to your home and saw the spacious living room, we knew that was where we wanted to have our family gatherings. And my son, who loves baseball, is going to love playing catch in the backyard. And my other son, who has special needs, is going to be able to navigate the space very well. And he's looking forward to having his own independence with that great bedroom. What's wrong with that?
Well, let's see. It is familiar status. Again, it goes against fair housing of familiar status.
And this is a fair housing, by the way, fair housing law. So this is a federal law.
Federal law that's been in place for decades. Disability, sex, sex and sexual orientation. If you throw in, can't wait to, you were talking about hosting things. If you said can't wait to host Hanukkah or Christmas, or that's, now that's religion. Mm-hmm. You put a picture on there, race or color. Those are all ding, 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 specially signed, specific in the whole fair housing umbrella.
And it can matter either way, whether you like people who fit those descriptions or you dislike people who fit those descriptions. If you are interested in having a family move into your home with children, then you're excluding people who don't have children. So that's why, as much as it might feel like a positive, it's a negative to someone who's not included.
Right. And in our first page of our board and state regulated listing agreement has the sellers have to initial.
Whole paragraph, it's laid out.
Bolded out paragraph. And when I walk through that, I say, this is the paragraph that says, if they are a qualified, serious, able to buy with financing or cash person, you will sell to them. And they go, yeah. And I go, exactly. And back to where I just said, they are hiring us to make a goal and hit that goal. And that's to sell their home. Full stop. Not to whom.
Yeah. And I've had, it's come up recently because the market has been so competitive. And so we've had buyers agents who have asked or who have sent them, and I have to tell them, that they're not going to be seen by the sellers. And I've even had sellers who've said, oh, my sister-in-law did this and blah, blah, blah. And one of the questions that comes up is, well, can we take all of the personal stuff out? Well, really then, is there even a letter?
Then it's the contract.
We like your house. This is how much we want to pay for it. That's pretty much all that's left. Unless you want to add, we like your decorating, but.
Right. And what Ruth just said, as far as telling the other agents that nobody will, it won't be passed on. There's no, you could put all the time, effort you want into it. It is not part of the offer or contract. So there is no guarantee that that's going to go on. It's going to go any further. An agent is only required to present the offer. It's a 13-page document plus their disclosures that we have a buyer fill out and submit, and that's all that they have to. So you don't even know if it gets to that person or the sellers.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like but I wanted to step back. You were kind of on a roll, but I wanted to, before you got too far, I wanted to bring that back to,
right.
You know, that was. And it really does, it's that offer. That's what we're submitting. That's what you want. So we want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward. So what are some ways, Ruth, that we can stand out in a competitive market that is not low?
Well, let's face it. I mean, everybody's looking for tricks and hacks. It's price, right? Yep. That's the number one. You want to win a house?
Yep.
Up. So bowl them over with the price. Then you want to take some of the hassle out. So you might do as is. We almost never, I never say never, but we almost never believe that you should not have a home inspection, but you should absolutely do as is. You should be willing to take on all of the little piddly things that most of the time shouldn't be asked for in a home inspection anyway. We have a paragraph in the contract that addresses that it goes unread often. So as is a great way to strengthen your offer without putting yourself at risk. Ask the seller what they would like for a closing date and figure out how to match that. So if they have to go to a hotel or you have to go to a hotel, take on the hotel.
There's a lot of ways to consider that, but that is huge now because there are people, we're back to the domino. For a couple months here, there was no ability to have domino. It was, you do anything to listen to whatever the seller had to say. You didn't, people weren't putting their houses on the market because they had, it was just, nobody wanted to be left homeless.
But nobody wanted to take a contingent offer.
Well, right. And so now we're back to contingent offers, but sometimes that just isn't going to line up. So if we can get, we don't know if these people need 60-day closes, 90-day closes, or 3-week closes. So getting to know what those best terms for those sellers are, or as I had recently, which I'm not always a fan of, but sometimes you got to roll with the punches in the times, and that works with everybody else. And it's a lease back. It's, we're going to close, but since your seller needs somewhere to go still, and we have an all right situation we're at, they can have another week or two.
So basically anything that increases the amount of money in the seller's pocket,
correct,
takes away any of the hassle for them, which is, replacing GFCIs, or reduces their risk. Those are the three things I would say cover anything you want to do to sweeten your offer that are far more important than, look at me, I'm cute and nice and I want your
correct. Offer. So another thing to consider, which I'm not sure if buyers understand this because it is in the contract for the seller to provide, but you can buy your own home warranty. That is not something that has to be done as part of the contract. So that could be, that's several $100s. Again, sweetening the pot, making it easier for them to say yes to your offer. And that's not even just a seller's market, a buyer's market too. If you're coming in and somebody else's and your price is not, and your terms are not great, they're still going to pick the better offer.
Right.
For them. So a quick deposit of earnest money, that shows that you are very interested and you want to move forward quickly.
And a big number for earnest money, even though in Illinois, the seller almost never gets to keep it unless the buyer dramatically violates the terms of the contract, it still shows that you're very serious. And we've had a lot of buyers backing out this past 6 months. So
Yes.
Any way that you can show you're serious goes back to that limiting risk on the seller side.
Well, we've been seeing some buyers who've been putting 2-3 offers in at the same time and trying to kind of negotiate them. And so their earnest money's 5 days off or 6 days off because they don't
it's a big red flag if you get that in an offer.
But if you're getting, 1% or so in the next 2 days, or somebody's giving you a copy of the check with the offer, I've seen a couple times.
Yep.
That means they have the money right then and there and are willing. It's not, eventually we'll get it to you soon, when they're telling other people the same thing. Inspection, having inspection date set. Again, that shows that you are a very serious buyer, that you are wanting that you've already talked to somebody, you want to close this up and move on to the next step. What happened to the do not disturb?
Well, that was my mother. She overrided it. Do not disturb. So
okay. Before that, we both said we've got to turn our ringers off, and she's like, "I put it on do not disturb." So that's fine.
I have to put it on do not disturb because somehow it always gets through, and when I just have the volume down.
I think we need to take Elizabeth off of your exceptions list. I'm just saying.
At least during the broadcast. No
yes, exactly. So quick deposit of earnest money, having an inspection date set, because again, you have the 5-day attorney review period, but if the inspection can be done in a day or two, you're not dragging it out. It's not getting extended. It's not, and you're wrapping up to the next part, which is the appraisal. Again, that's making it a little bit stronger, a little bit better. And then lastly, to hit this home, using our preferred lenders. When my buyers use my preferred lenders, our preferred lenders, and we have a few of them and they all are awesome, I can honestly get on there and say, hey, I've been working with this lender. It's my preferred lender for 9 years, 8 years, something like that. Never did not close a deal. It's an extra step. Or Eric, he's had, Mark, he's always done a deal. Eric's come in the clutch many times to help share things. Karina's fantastic. If she says she can do it, she can do it. We have that experience with these people, and we can really. It's not
and that listing agent knows that we know if anything were ever to go wrong, we would, rain down repercussions. So there's a personal guarantee there that is a really strong bond.
Correct.
That matters a lot.
Correct. So while love letters are sounds like a neat trick and sounds like an easy way to save yourself $5,000 and get that deal done, sometimes it is always best to just put your best foot forward with a really solid offer.
Yeah.
And again, my sellers. Now, I have had sellers who have not picked the highest offer for things having nothing to do with that.
Right.
But I would never encourage my sellers to pass up other opportunities that might be better, which might have, some of these things we've talked to, over somebody with a less strong offer and a love letter.
Right.
Because you don't even know if they're lying.
Well, yeah, right. It's like a Tinder profile, right? Like they're not going to tell you any of the bad stuff.
They have a ulterior motive, and that's to get a house.
Right.
So they'll say anything that they think. But
exactly.
Anyway, so that was that's our take on love letters, and hopefully we've kind of given you good ideas of why it's not the ideal at all, and ways to go around that and make your offer and make it a better transaction. And
this really strong trend away from them is as Danielle says, translating into laws being passed, rules being put in force. So just find another way to do it. Don't try to find a way to get them passed where you're,
You drop it off in their mailbox, like
Yeah.
around the realtors. It really is not
yeah.
great for them.
And don't think that realtors are the only ones that get charged with violations where fair housing laws are concerned. We've heard that quite a bit.
Yes,
So,
it's a long, and it's a lot. Even if it is not the case, that's a good point, Ruth. Even if it is not the case, if anybody gets wind, imagine the time and effort and money just to protect yourself as a seller, proving no, it's more. It's more than you want. There's just don't open yourself up to it, right? You don't want to go, oh, I swear I didn't, but I did entertain them. I did look at them. I did. But in the end, it was, it was something else. Well, it's still suspicious.
you don't want to have to prove it in court.
Correct. Absolutely.
All right. Well, we will see you on the next Putting the Real in Real Estate next Friday, same time, same channel.
The 30th of July. Where does that go? My goodness. My goodness.
Wow.
All right. Well, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your next week. And of course, if you have any questions about this or anything real estate related, reach out to us because we are happy to talk to you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Take care. Bye-bye.